There you go. Hi, everyone. TG here. December 4th, Wednesday, when I'm recording this. And it's kind of been an exciting market. So we have been seeing a big rotation. We're going to be going through that. I was actually on the mic with the Moxie subscribers and traders this morning talking about all that. And we started to see that, well, today's Wednesday. I think we even started seeing it on Monday, basically, because the whole market really took off on Friday, the after Thanksgiving and all that. And so now we're starting to see this kind of catch up. It's been a little challenging underneath the surface because, like, I was looking at a day trade today, and I'm glad we got out of the call because you can see here it's just, the momentum isn't there today. We did have a nice big move up, but this is kind of what I was talking about. The challenge is with gaps, because a lot of times when the market gaps, it's kind of already used up most of its energy to do that gap, and it's just not going to run. Plus, I have the feeling that the market wasn't really going to keep running, given that Jerome Powell is speaking today. So that's a little wrench in the gears to think about today. You can see that the rest of the market's doing pretty well as far as order flow, but the S&P is not really doing that great. You can see here kind of the order flow, not so much, but advanced decline is up. The ticks are doing better. They were not great this morning, but they're doing better now. And so if we actually look at the market itself, you can see here there was that big opening gap that we had. So we were patient, waiting for it to kind of come down, and then you can see here it tested here. So we did two things. We sold a call credit spread, or a put credit spread, and then we also, right there, we bought a call for a zero DTE. And I had a hair trigger on the call because those things, if the market doesn't keep running up, they're just going to evaporate, which is also why we did the put credit spread, because I figured, well, this market's looking pretty strong in the fact that I don't think it's going to come down, but I just don't know if it's going to go up. And I think that's been the right choice so far, because if you look here, here was the call that we went for, the 60.80, and we bought it right there. I'd say that's a pretty good spot to buy. And then we got out of it basically break even right there, because I was like, I just don't know if this is going to work. It did end up popping up again, but as you can see, it still just didn't really go anywhere. It was kind of teasing, like looking like it wants to go, and then boom, it just starts to implode. But as far as our put credit spread, we sold, I'll show you here, we sold the 60/60 put credit spread right there, and just kind of keeps dwindling. So that's good. I will be exiting this before Jerome Powell speaks. I set an alarm this time, so won't be making any mistakes on that. And basically, I would imagine that the market is going to, for the most part, kind of stay in this area, in this range. I mean, look, we have 60/60 right there, so I kind of don't think that's going to happen. Of course, anything can, but I just think that we're going to probably kind of hold around here. Part of the reason I think that is, if you look at the NASDAQ, I mean, this is where the strength of the market is rotation into the NASDAQ, into tech, into the mega caps, the MAGs, the FANG stocks, that kind of stuff. Just really strong here. And you can see the NASDAQ actually continued to push up today. We can also see this view via MAGs. If you want to look at that ETF, you can see there is the strength, and they continued to push up this morning. And then even if you look at FNGU, and you can see this one was really strong, and we're in this. We have been in this for a while, but yeah, you can see it gapped up, and this one did run for the morning. But that's kind of the issue, is like when I'm looking at the various uh, ETFs and sectors and stuff like that, I can see that the mega caps are running, but kind of the small caps are not really running too much, and the other components of the S&P are not really running. And so when I saw that these really popped up, it's like, okay, they're just not going to keep running all day. Most likely at some point they're going to kind of come back down, because they're just so extended for the moment. And you can see here they're starting to pull back, and that's why I thought, if the S&P is not ripping, if these things start to cool off a little bit, then the S&P is going to struggle a little bit too. And then here's the interesting thing. If you look at the RSP, which is the equal weight of the S&P, you can see it is still pulling back. Even today, this morning, everything else is kind of up, but the RSP is down, which is telling me that the strength is pretty much isolated into the mega caps, into the FANG stocks, into that kind of stuff. And that's why I was a little bit hesitant about the try to go long on the S&P today, which, as I said, I think is the right choice to kind of step aside on that one and do more of a credit spread, because I just think that the market's going to hold, but I don't think it's going to run. And so that's kind of what we're seeing over here. It continues to pull back and be weak, but that's fine, because really going into Thanksgiving and even the day after Thanksgiving, I mean, look what the RSP did. This is great. So we just have to understand that it had its day in the sun, that it had its move leading up into Thanksgiving and up there, and it just got too extended. Third ATR, gap off the AEMA, all that kind of stuff. So it's really just kind of coming back down to earth and back down to support. But then if you look at something like FNGU, this has really been the story of what's happening. You can see that the FANG stocks really didn't go anywhere over the last couple weeks. They had their run up, then they went sideways. The rest of the market's moving, but they're not moving, and so we're just seeing a rotation. Okay, the big names, the traders, people, hedge funds, whatever, they're taking their profits from the small caps that have just gone straight through the roof. I mean, remember, we have 4 tickers that are all well over 100%, and that's just us. And then so you can see that money's coming out of the small caps, they're going into the mega caps, and you can see that the mega caps are up today. So we're pretty well diversified. We are in FNGU. In fact, we got in right around here, and so we are up 35% on our leveraged ETF of the FANG stocks. So not too shabby. Oh, that totally reminds me. Oh, let's see, where do I want to show you guys this? Here is This is, I'm gonna have to update this because I'm actually up more. I think we're closer to 74, maybe even 75%. So this is an account that I opened up with a family member. We put 25,000 in it, basically the end of July. So my first trade was basically August 1st. And so it's right around just a little over 4 months. And I saw what was happening with the market. I was like, I think things are gonna go. And I said, hey, let's go open up an account, because now is the time. And you can see what's been happening over the last 4 months. I got to check the number, but I think we're up about 74, 75% in 4 months trading just stock. None of this is day trading. None of this is options. This is only stock positions. And this is why it's kind of like 2020 all over again. So I'm going to be doing a presentation on Thursday, tomorrow. So if you guys want to kind of see what we've been up to, it's going to cover the stocks that we've been doing, my 2025 outlook. We're going to be talking about the 0 DTE day trading that I've been doing. I got updated stats for you on that. So yeah, if you guys are interested, that's what we're going to be doing. That's kind of the thing for it. So come on over. I think this one's going to be mostly internal. So if you guys want to come check it out, $7 trial to get into the Moxie room. We're having an absolute field day. I mean, we are really, really having a good time, and you can feel the energy in the room too for everybody else that is in there. So like, we were having a lot of fun this morning too. On that note, I'll show you. This is why we're having a good time. Okay, so something like CART, we have been trading our butts off on this one, and it's just been perfect. So our first trade that we ever took was right there at, I don't know, $34, $35. Then we added to it right there. Then we took profits right there. And then again, we added on the dip, and now we're popping up here. I mean, we have just been trading this thing beautifully. I mean, it's been a good trade, setups, everything like that. And then what I want to show you guys here is we added to it right here. I mean, talk about the right spot to find that dip and to get back into it. And then the guidance that I've been giving to the Moxie subscribers and everything else that we've been working out for here, there was a perfect 50, 200, 50 maneuver here. And I said, yeah, this looks really good for me, guys. We just have to wait and figure out when this thing wants to go. And today, I mean, literally today, you can see here that it is popping up like that. And we've got our hourly Moxie price trigger. So not only are we doing well trading with this, the Moxie indicator is all over this thing. Like, you want to know about timing, Moxie indicator is firing today, okay? And this is after a pretty long squeeze on the hourly chart. And so over the last few days, we've got a lot of new people coming into the room, which is fantastic. Welcome. This is the kind of market that you guys need to come into and be aggressive on. This is like 2020 all over again. I think we're going to be a little bit more sustainable than 2020, but we've got those vibes happening. And so a lot of people have been asking me, like, well, how do you find your stocks and how do you scan for this? Well, we have the Moxie scanner. Okay. So the Moxie scanner has two scans. One of them will scan for a trampoline move, and a trampoline move is when price is below the 50, but the Moxie indicator is above 0. So the Moxie scanner would have shown you CART 2 weeks ago. And then if you're still scanning, the Moxie indicator will scan for what's the Moxie price trigger. And so that would have shown up on your hourly scan today. So there is no way that you would have missed this stock if you had the Moxie scanner and the indicator to find something like this. You'd find it on the daily chart, you find it on the hourly chart. And yeah, so I sent out another alert. We're in this thing, and today it's up. So absolutely fantastic trade for us on this one. Darren, since I see you're there, this is one that one of our subscribers, Darren, mentioned to me the other day, and it kind of reminds me of Cart. And I said, yeah, sometimes buy the rumor, sell the news situation on earnings. Sometimes they drop them on earnings. It's not always a bad thing, as you can kind of see here. You got to let the dust settle. I wouldn't have picked it up or anything else like this. But you can see here, there's the leg, there's the heel, there's the arch of the foot, ball of the foot. And now what we're looking for is the elf toe. So I've already got like 20 names that I'm trading, so I can't trade everything out there, but I can give you guys guidance and we can talk about this stuff. Now, Darren, you did a great job. I remember looking at the options on this, and they have kind of a wide spread, so you got to be careful about it. But he said he picked it up, I don't know, somewhere in through here, which is great positioning on your part. And I said, yeah, let's keep watching this. If it's going to be bullish, we're going to see one thing. If it's going to be bearish, we're going to see another. If it's bearish, then we would have seen price kind of get rejected by the hourly 50 and would go down, and we would have seen price get rejected by the daily 50 and it would have gone down. I still wanted to give a little bit more time for confirmation. Well, today, look what's happening. That, to me, is confirmation that Shark wants to go higher. SN, Shark Ninja, which I'm like, oh, Sharknado. Huh, okay. So this is looking really good. There's a nice 5250 maneuver right there on the hourly. The Moxie indicator has been above zero the whole time, so that means these were trampoline moves in through here. All the Moxie signals and all that. You've got to squeeze on the daily. Everything's looking good, and really, you look at this and you say, yeah, there's your breakout. And so if this is a name that interests you, I just want to show you guys this is the kind of market that things are doing really well, really well. And if you look at the weekly chart, I mean, just look at this thing. It actually looks really great. It was overbought. They dropped it on earnings right into support. It flagged for a little bit, and now it looks like it wants to keep going. Like, guys, I cannot emphasize to anybody out there on YouTube and Facebook and X, if you are watching this and you guys have been checking out what I do and trading like this, if you've ever seen what some of my advertisements and what we did back in 2020, I mean, we made millions of dollars back in 2020 because the market was just absolutely ripping, and it was doing it with only stock. And it's no joke. I mean, I should probably actually include my portfolio from 2020. There was a point at the peak, which I think was probably early February, the absolute peak. I made $1 million in two separate accounts on the same day. So $2 million in one day at the peak craziness of 2021 because it was in February. And then the whole market, just the bubble popped. So we're going to be talking about some of that on Thursday, tomorrow, given the presentation, because this is happening again. This is what we're seeing as activity like this with Cart, with Shark, with things like HNST. I mean, look at this. This is 2020 all over again. The small caps are coming out of hibernation. They're doing great. We're having a good time. The market's on fire. We're seeing a rotation this week into the mega caps. They're doing well. Just this is the time to be really, really heavily involved in the market, and I want to make sure you guys take advantage of that. So really, anybody else who's not in the Moxie room out there on the interwebs, come check it out. I'm not even doing this for my own good. I'm trying to make sure that you guys see what's happening and don't miss out on this market, because it is absolutely on fire again. And we're taking trades like where we got down here at 350 and we're selling at 832. That's like 130 or 140% on stuff like this. All right. So yeah, I just don't want you guys to miss out on it, because what happens when people hear that the market's making new all-time highs and they're like, oh my God, I'm going to get into it. And then, they kind of buy at the wrong places and this and that. And then they chase something like this. I've got the rules. I've been doing this for a long time. This is my kind of market. When the small caps come alive, I excel at this kind of market. And I think everybody in the Moxie room would agree with that and how we're doing. So yeah, just please come on over for your own sake, because we are seeing things doing well. Like even coin, Coin looks like it's getting ready to pop up and get going today. We already have some crypto names, crypto related, but this to me looks pretty good. This is basically a bull flag and probably going to keep going higher. And Bitcoin also is just underneath 100,000, which is great. It's kind of taking some time, resting, consolidating just underneath 100,000. I would imagine at some point it's going to find support and keep going higher. So we're really Bitcoin, small caps, you name it, guys. We're out there. Let's see. Yeah, Nvidia. How's that one doing today? We've got people in the Moxie room who trade all sorts of stuff. I don't always trade Nvidia. I trade other things. That's fine. You can trade the leverage ETF of Nvidia, but look at that. A perfect pullback into the daily 50 and looking pretty good. In fact, this might be an inverse head and shoulders right there. It's kind of what I'd say. Now, I still think that there's going to be a little bit. Oh, I would love to see just a small pullback on Nvidia to get into it because of what I'm kind of seeing here. But overall, even if you got in here at this low spot, I think that's going to be a pretty good area if you like Nvidia. The semiconductors segment looks like it's coming back finally. It sure took a while. And this is also part of the Moxie stuff that I talk about. Here's price over the daily 50, but the Moxie indicator below zero. That's an inverse trampoline move. The semiconductor segment was just not ready to run yet. But now it looks like it is. I think that this is going to be probably our fresh start. You can see price down, Moxie indicator up, and there's our Moxie price trigger. So yeah, semiconductors are going to start getting into the action. So that really does mean that more and more names are going to be jumping on this. Even though I showed you guys the RSP was kind of down today, that's okay. We're just getting a rotation because, again, you look at things like Toast. This is why we're seeing a rotation because names like this have just gone vertical. We have taken profits twice on this name. So we took some here and we took some here. And I'm happy because look, now it's down today. That's the kind of stuff we're talking about. You need to rotate around with the market. You don't want to necessarily be holding the bag all the way up at the top. So we got, what kind of percentage did we get? 52% as far as our top tick. I mean, look at that. We really did nail the top tick on that as far as the pullback. And so we've taken profits twice. And today it's pulling back. Great. Let it pull back. I'm totally happy about this. We'll just let it do its thing and then we'll ready to get back in. Like I said, we totally nailed cart. I mean, that's a fantastic pullback. And we even have NTNX. You can see this one. We're in this one too. We could have added on this one. Again, I have so many positions, but I talked to the subscribers and I said, hey, I think this is actually going to be a buy the dip situation. Let's hang on to it. And we're up today after a double bottom. And so I think this one's going to be pretty good too. All right. So I'm going to be going. I hope you guys, again, out there on the interwebs, I see we actually have quite a few people. I see all your eyeballs out there. Welcome to everybody. Just remember, I really do want you to see that we have coming up on tomorrow, Thursday, I'm going to be doing a webinar. Okay. I know we've got a lot of eyeballs that are just kind of lurking out there, seeing what's up. This is the time to get involved with the market. And this is where I excel. I'm just trying to be real honest and straightforward. When the small caps run, that is my playground. I do really well with that. And I just want to show you a case in point. This number is bigger today. I think I'm up at about 44,000. So about 75% gain in 4 months. Okay. So small caps are running. I want to make sure that you guys out there on X, Facebook, YouTube, come on over, come check out the presentation I have tomorrow, showing you guys about how we've been doing with the market, our trades, my 2025 outlook, and yeah, come on in, $7 trial, see what we're doing in the Moxie room. We're having a fantastic time. All right. So, and we're still running Black Friday sale. So if you guys like the Moxie room, if you like the Moxie indicator, we're still running 30% off for our Black Friday sale.